Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. In the morning. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yo, yo, yo. Oh, Lord. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul
In
B.
the morning.
Oh, buddy, you are there. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay.
Okay, you can hear me.
I can hear you, just
Okay.
can't see you. Let me
Okay.
show the people what we're looking at right now. Black screen.
Yeah.
Black
Tech
screen of death.
the tech is teching this morning.
Tech is teching. Buddy's working on it right now, so we're gonna go ahead and get the show started. But yeah, another day of bad tech. So bear with us. But we're gonna make it happen. In the meantime, between time, appreciate everybody that's joining us. Yeah, fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning. And thanks for joining us on this Friday, January 26th, 2024. Special guest Jewel Rodgers coming in today, and we're just gonna try to get through the day. Lots of things to talk about. Lots of things in Friends of First Sky Omaha. I got to tell you, um, it was kind of going off last night. So there's some things that we found, some things that we look back at that relate to what's going on now. Big announcement today on that ARPA fund, that 1024 531 money. So big things popping today, and we're definitely going to have to dive into it one way or another. So while Buddy's working on his tech, we'll go ahead and get the show started. Shout out to the 6:30 crew who already told me that the mix was nice today. Appreciate you guys listening. If you are so inclined, you can go to firstsky.omaha.com, hit the listen button, or ask your Amazon Alexa to play First Sky Omaha Radio. Appreciate everybody that's doing that, and all of you that's come in on this Friday morning already, very early. Especially you, Pops, way over there on the West Coast. Pops says Friday Love Supreme. I can't wait. Mad love from Las Vegas. Friday's Love Supreme. I heard that. Leia Keister. I ain't ready for you, but I'm gonna give it a go. Leia Keister says, "Happy Fry, yippee, 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 yay, 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 yip, yippee, yo, yo, yay." I think I almost got it. I think I messed up one of the last yips, but yeah, appreciate you being here, Leia Keister. Please put your podcast in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Let everybody know when you got new episodes, so we can definitely check them out. Appreciate that very much. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. And I appreciate you coming on in. I see Facebook and YouTube are working, so at least we don't have the Facebook issue today. We just have the situation over in Buddy's studio happening. Nope, nope. I'm never solo. If it's just gonna be me, then we just say, hey, we got to postpone the show. Buddy's here. He's just having some technical difficulties, and he's fixing them right now as we speak. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
we
here.
can hear him.
Hey y'all. Hey.
Sound good. Sound good, buddy.
If only I could be looking good. If only I could be looking good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Give me a second, y'all.
at least the ring jumps when you talk, so kind of like you some life over there.
Hey. A little bit. But yeah, bear with us, y'all. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. We're gonna have this conversation. Just give me a second.
Yeah, right on, right on. Mama God, she says good morning. Yeah, appreciate you coming on in. Christine Norris says good morning. Appreciate that. Marlon Harrison says happy TGIF First Sky family. I'm glad. I'm sure you're happy it's Friday for sure. Lady Keiser giving me some props. I appreciate that very, very much. I gave it my best this morning. Gave it my best. Mama God said, great. We fam and patient while you work out the bugs. Yep, appreciate that very much. We used to get real nervous about stuff that happened like this, but now we know that you guys are with us, so we will definitely continue on. Let's see. I think we got Buddy back over here now. There we go. Now, can we hear you over here on that one? Let me mute this one.
Hello.
I'm gonna keep. Let's see. Go ahead.
Hello.
Okay, we can hear you. We just don't. We just can't really hear you through the mic. We're hearing you through the phone.
How about now?
Now you're doubled up. So let me mute the. Yeah, try it
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Okay,
How's that?
that's pretty good. We got to figure out how to do that though. Let's try. Let's see if we move it like this. Well, no, that didn't work either, did it? Bear with us, y'all. Dealing with some tech issues. And I'm trying to make the best of it. So appreciate everybody that's joining us right now. And yeah, we'll let Buddy work that out while we get through it. But we got special guest Jewel Rodgers. There's a campaign going on that she's it's a naming campaign. There's a lot of talk about what the neighborhoods, what we as individuals in our neighborhoods name things. I think this is a pretty interesting sub topic to talk about, like who has the right to name streets, to name, you know, all the things that we have to name. Sometimes people come in with their projects and they just do stuff in the neighborhoods, and it doesn't have anything to do with, you know, the neighborhood. They don't really reach out. That's kind of a it's kind of a theme right now too, especially with these ARPA funds that are happening right now. Hasn't been a whole lot of public feedback in a lot of ways, unfortunately. All right, where we at, buddy?
Hello.
So we can hear you on one channel, see you on the other.
Yeah. Yeah. So sound is coming out of my phone. I'm trying to figure out how to turn that off. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all
N-
like hear a
I,
double
I
when I
got you.
speak?
I got your phone muted on this side, so we're only hearing one voice.
Okay. Okay. Well.
But it's from the camera. It's from the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. As long as it's working, we'll leave it. We'll do what we got to do today. All right. Appreciate that very much. Marlon Harrison in the chat says, I went to Bree Fool's town hall meeting on Wednesday. Had about 25 people in the room. So I'm glad to hear that.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to Bree and find out what happened there and all that good stuff. I'm glad that people showed up there for that. And yeah, give us a report on some of that, Brother Harrison, if you would. Let us know what you guys talked about over there and how it went. Appreciate that report. Anyway, so we're back. Fresh edition, buddy. How you feeling?
Frustrated.
Yes, I know you are.
Yeah. I
Uh,
don't know, man. Power went out last night. I mean, that might have something to do with it, even though all
oh,
my stuff was off.
maybe the camera surged or something.
I don't know, man. But yeah.
All right, well, don't worry about it, man. Like Mama Guy said, we all family. We're gonna work through the tech and do what we're here to do, which is have that conversation. As long as we can hear
Man.
you, you know what I'm saying. So we're all good. Jay Carter in the chat says, "Good morning and happy Friday. Appreciate you coming on in. Thanks for joining us. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road, man. Listen, we ain't gonna let nothing hold us up. Let's go for it.
Man.
Yeah. Thanks for
How
joining us.
you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Fresh edition, First Sky Fridays going down one way or another. Let's get it rolling.
Let's
What up? What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, all of us, all of you, all of us together. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning on again Friday, January 26, 2024. Having tech difficulties this morning, so we pulled it off as best we could, and that's what we're doing right now. So we appreciate everybody bearing with us on that. We're gonna be here and doing what we do, though. We're gonna have that conversation. Big news and lots of stuff going on today. We definitely have to jump into it. I got a chance to look at it. We actually Buddy's been up the last hour working on this, so it's nothing more frustrating than getting up early in the morning to get the show started, and then we run into tech difficulties that lead us right up into the show. Just to let you know where we're at right now in this frustration. But again, we keep in mind that the tech is teching, and that's fine. The most important thing is that we still make sure that we get in here and get talking to everybody who we're talking to. You, the chat chimers, the ghost listeners, and who we call our co-hosts here. So the conversation is the most important thing, and we're gonna have it by any means necessary. So here we
Hey,
are. That's right, man. Here we are, and buddy, don't let it get to you. It's all good.
yeah,
We
yeah.
we
I'm
can hear
just
you, which is the most important thing. We can hear you.
yeah. It's kind of a like it's coming out of my headphones and the phone at the same time. So I'm a power through that. It's a little
Okay.
distracting, but yeah, we here. We here. We appreciate y'all, everybody in the chat. Marlon Harrison, Mayor Sanchez. I don't know if that's like a comment or a compliment or I don't know. He said anybody ever tell Buddy he has a face for radio. I don't know how to take that. But thank you for coming
Oh,
in, Jay
blood.
Carter. Yeah, a little cold blooded. I think so. I think so. What do they call that? A backhand compliment?
Right.
Michelle Marino. Good morning to everybody, man. It's just one of them days.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's frustrating. I know the frustration. I've been through it many a time, but that's the nature of what's going on with live stream. It's just unreliable. There's a lot of unreliable. There's a lot of factors involved, man. From the camera to the switcher to the computer to the internet to the modem to your internet over there on your side watching us. I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many points of failure with these things all the time. It goes down. So it's a wonder that it acts right most of the time with all the points of failure. So but like I said, I think the most important thing is that we have developed and built a First Sky Omaha fan that understands we're gonna go through this and understands like we understand. It's all about the conversation.
yeah.
All there is to it.
And it makes you think about like how much, just like you said, has gone right over the last couple of years of us doing this,
Mhm.
constantly. So yeah, man, we appreciate this the patience from all of you, and it's the reason we call you our co-host.
There you go. Appreciate it very much. Brother Harrison is giving us a little report on Bree's meeting. He said Bree talked about how certain people in OPS are gatekeeping information, and we need to call them out and hold them accountable. Come on,
Mm,
Brianna Fool. That's what I'm talking about. He said she also talked about the getting pushback from certain people on the board for holding town hall meetings. Isn't that interesting? How like it's really the theme. The theme really is like that.
silence
Nobody
the
really
public.
wants the public to talk, right? They don't want to. They don't want to. They want closed door sessions so they can control stuff. It's really like a struggle to get the word to the people. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. They were asking like, what does First Guy Omaha really do right now? And what the biggest thing is kind of a round table that we have 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. You know,
Hmm.
um, with talking to you, the public, like you, the people in the neighborhoods and getting the word, getting what you guys think, and who is doing that? Who's even having one session? You know what I'm saying? Look at this.
Hmm.
Here's OPS, the school board, fighting Brianna Full about having town halls. Like you don't want any discussion about what's going on in school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I really don't understand what the pushback. I mean, isn't that what the job is for? Isn't that the job?
Seems to me that that's you're dealing with people's kids. Yeah. Anyway, we appreciate the report, Brother Harrison, on that, and we will be having Brianna Full on soon, next week.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, as soon as next week, and can talk to her about some of that stuff and hear from her what went on. So shout out to everybody that showed up to that meeting, and let's as you can see, this one I guess it's one of them things we need to really keep on going to supporting her since she's getting pushback for it. Kimmer sounds like Kimmer was there too. Says Kimmer took better notes, so make sure you guys ask her for more information. Yes, Kimmer, the consummate note taker.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Kimmer
She's
report.
everywhere. I'm starting to think she got like bots out there or something. Like, how does she make all these meetings, man? How does that happen?
She be rolling. She just roll. She be outside. That's how it happens.
Putting in the work. Putting in the work.
Yeah,
Big shout out to Sister Kimmer. Big shout out to the ladies out there, man. Kimmer, Bree, making it happen. Making
making
it happen.
things
So
happen.
yeah, definitely big ups to them.
Man, I announced the other day that my final days at the Benson Theater is coming up here. My last day is the 31st, and part of the reason for that decision was so the same thing, man. So we can kind of get out in these streets a little bit more. Like your full time job ties you down. It's hard to go to meetings. It's hard to go to the 360 meetings during the week. You know what I'm saying? If you got a
Hmm.
9 to 5, it's tough to make any of these things unless you're like Kimera, who takes jobs that have to do with the community, that puts her out there because of one Omaha is a lot of the reason why she's doing what she's doing. So, if you got to really kind of find something that aligns with you being in the community and going to these meetings and doing what you need to do. So hopefully that, and of course First Sky is all about that. So hopefully that'll give me more time to be able to kind of get out and do those things as well. And also, we'll be doing events and stuff like that throughout the year as well that we generate. So be looking for that, Buddy, coming in town, and we doing some things as well. So yeah, man, hopefully this will give us better access. We're still training content creators and people to go and cover some of these things. We're happy that the documenters program is coming back, because they're going to be integral in documenting some of these meetings and bringing back some reports and stuff as well. So it's about to be, like Cat Williams said, this is going to be the year of truth.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Cat started us off. We're going to keep on rolling.
2024, man. I mean, it's the age of information. It's the age of information. It's the electrified age, if you will, with this internet. Everybody has so much information at their fingertips. It's only a matter of time before we start to see it play out, in real time in society, as far as both sides of it, people thirsty for more information, and people trying to keep a hold on it, and maintain the information from getting out. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna see these types of activities on many levels kind of ramp up, as far as just information coming out, people responding to things. I mean, of course, in the past years, just even on the governmental level, they opened up about the aliens. I mean, there's a lot more coming out that some of us maybe have not expected or would have thought we'd ever see in our lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, man. Yeah, we kind of glossed right over that. Sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Oh,
real thing,
oh,
man.
yeah.
The
So
aliens.
we really got aliens now, huh? Okay, well, that's cool. Where's my healthcare at? Everybody was just
That
kind of like,
part. That part. Did you see the whole situation down in Miami? The alien at the mall?
no, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah,
What? You
yeah,
didn't
I
hear
saw
about
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
look, here's the other part. Here's the other problem with that. We're in this age of fake news, and I think most people just don't believe what's going on. I don't know what I believe about it, to be honest with
that
you.
part. That part. That's
So
why we gotta have real conversation in real time with real people, man. You gotta, and even that you can't really trust. Me and my lady we were watching a commercial the other day. I'm like, man, what's wrong with this commercial? Something's off about it. Then it finally clicked, like, oh, this is AI. That's
yeah,
not a real person talking.
bro, look. We haven't been talking about this, but we're in the age of that right now. You're seeing commercials already where like what's the science dude's name?
Is it Bill Nye you talking about?
No, man, the black dude.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Neil deGrasse Tyson. There's commercials out there with his voice talking about medications and stuff like that. And we're and if you and for because we're listening and because we're like into this whole AI world and understanding, I'm hearing where it's not quite what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see a picture of him, and as soon as you see him talking, you see that they try to match up something that he said before with was on the mic, and then that confirms it. Oh, like he ain't even on this commercial, bro. They trying to use his voice to endorse this medication, and it's all over the place. I guarantee you guys have heard this already. You guys have heard people that you recognize talking about things that's not them talking,
Man,
and
yeah,
we haven't. Yeah.
several celebrities have been reported on, like made headlines about selling their voice and likeness, and trying to make a buck and selling their personality to these AI companies to use. Like you think about Snoop Dogg and the whole GPS. You remember Snoop? You can get Snoop Dogg's voice on GPS. Um, that's being used for more things now.
Wow, that's insane. Wow. Okay. Well, that situation with Snoop, like he's got it's like a program you can put his voice on to do your audiobooks and stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
because that technology exists, like look, they're using it, and people are already abusing it. Like this is already something that's going on, and I haven't heard anybody talking about it yet. I really think that a lot of people are still fooled. They're still fooled
Oh
by
yeah,
it.
oh yeah. I mean, it almost got me.
Crazy, man. Teacher Cycle in the chat saying, "Greetings, friends. Good
Hey.
to see your name out there. How you doing? Let me know what's going on with you." what's going on here, just to update people, is we're having some technical difficulties here. There's a reason why the look is different. Some things are different. I just got word on the radio channel. They're not hearing you on the radio channel, buddy. So that's
Mm.
another thing on my end I got to try to fix. So so anyway, if you're on the radio channel and you're just hearing me, like I was just told, please go to YouTube. Just
That's
go ahead and go
weird.
to YouTube and check it out. Yeah, man, there's a lot of weird tech stuff going on. So bear with us through the tech difficulties.
Hmm.
Hopefully, we'll still have a successful show with the information that we need to talk about. Lots of stuff to talk about. Today is the day that the DED is going to announce the people that received money.
Yes. Yes.
Although the DED has already shelled out some money to certain
Yes.
entities,
Yes.
and this is the crazy part. It's already been in the news in the last 2 days that one person in particular was on that list, and he is a suspect in a fraud case, a PPP fraud case from before.
Yep.
So the article now is like, so the question is, has anybody vetted any of these people that this $400 million in North Omaha is going to? So because this hit the papers, what's going to happen is they're going to start looking at everybody who applied.
Fine tooth comb.
And right, because they're going to try to act like there was no vetting, so that could delay. They're talking about this cat going to jail over this. We've been talking about how it's set up. It's set up like we're getting set up to fail.
It's a setup.
It there's people that don't understand that if you accept this money, you have to use this money for the plan that you put in. If you do not, if you deviate from that, they'll act like it's fraud. There's people in North Omaha that run businesses that are going to go to jail over this 1024 or 531 money. And now you know why Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Justin Wayne have been fighting since they made the bill last year for it to be do what it's supposed to be doing in Omaha. Not to mention, shout out to Marianne Williams, who's been putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha, the legislative session. I don't know if you guys have been watching what's been going on or hearing what Senator Wayne and McKinney are up there talking about, but their majority of the money is going to organizations that do not have any kind of economic plan for North Omaha. No jobs. The biggest portions of this money that is happening, now that it's in the governor's hands, because remember, they did their job. They got the bill passed, applied for the money. The money came, and now because of checks and balances, the Governor Pill in his office, the DED, has to be the ones that dole that money out. It can't just be Senator Wayne, Senator McKinney saying we want this money to go. They can suggest where the money should go. They can talk to people in the community and have plans for that, but they don't have any say on where that money goes. That's the way the government's set up. That's why it's so ridiculous when people are always on their neck, like, you guys got all this money and now you don't want to give me none. Like, they're not the ones doling it out. It has to be signed off by the governor.
Man.
So now that the governor and his office and the Department of Economic Development have it and they're doling it out, they made the decisions on where it goes. There's a number that they keep on talking about. I just heard it 3 more times last night. They just been handing out $50,000 to people, and these are people who have projects that are $1 million projects,
Here's
$2
that
million
woman.
projects.
That woman in the chat talk about that very thing.
I tried to share an article. I think it's still pending. It talks about a business hub for Omaha minority workforce that asked for $1 million, but they also are receiving 50,000. It's 50,000 across the board. It's so prevalent in North Omaha right now, bro. I'll go talk to other business owners or talk to other people, and they don't even, they just like, you got 50? Yeah, you got 50. Like, they just decided, well, let's just give out 50 to everybody. It's almost like they were just like, let's just give out 50 to whoever applied, and something like that. Like, it's that prevalent. So like this is what they're fighting. Like, they're like, it has been messed up. Put in the hands of the DED has been messed up, and they are calling out names. There's a lot of talk about OEDC. Mike Maroney got a big chunk of the money.
Yep.
For projects that are going to generate no jobs. You can go back and look at the legislative session. Other senators are asking Justin Wayne, like, why are they getting $90 million and there's no jobs here? Like they're like and they're like, yeah, that's what we're asking. We're asking why we got left out of the process because they kept themselves in the process even after they did their job because they saw it down the road. They saw it coming that this was going to be a messed up situation, and it turned out to be. Now there's stuff. Now there's so anyway, and this drama is unfolding as we speak. Today they're going to bring this list out of people who are supposed to make this money. Brother Kasim in the chat. Good morning. He says, we only need 50,000 once. He said, we make noise with nothing. Imagine 50 grand landing in our laps.
Man,
Imagine 90 million.
imagine what
Imagine
you can
how
do with
many,
that.
imagine if 90 million went to an organization that was going to be providing jobs in North Omaha, how many jobs you can put together with that?
And the frustrating part about all of this is, it'd be one thing if this was like, you know, it'd be easy to just turn away from it and just like let's do our own thing. But again, these are funds that were made available based on our poverty.
But let me tell you, bro, um, Buddy is the only one that kept me in the game because when all this mess started up, I was like, forget them fools and all their money. Like I was on that tip.
Man,
Like I go straight to like we just do our own thing. I don't even want to deal with this drama. And the thing is though, I pay taxes, bro. I owe the IRS money right now. They take half your if you're a working man, they take close to half your check. You could look that up. There's articles all over the place about the reason why people in poverty stay in poverty. We pay more taxes than anybody rich, anybody with money. Look at your check. It's like 35-40% of your money that you make goes to taxes. So if there's money coming back from taxes, why wouldn't you and your business you guys should benefit from it? There's no reason why you shouldn't have a piece of the pie because if we don't get it,
who will?
even though it's earmarked for us, other senators with pet projects all over the rest of Nebraska gets it.
$600 million lake between Omaha and Lincoln.
Come on, bro. Come
Y'all
on,
ain't hear
man.
me. Y'all didn't hear me. 400 million allotted for half the city. Yet they have 600 million planned for a lake.
And it was tripping about that 400 million. Why does North Omaha need that much money? What are you talking about?
Why do you need a lake between Omaha and Lincoln?
Not nonprofit associations, foundations were asking the same question. Well, we've given millions every year. How come they need more? Didn't we save them? Hey, look. Brother Wayne and Brother McKinney are calling out nonprofits on the legislative floor right now, bro. Like they're it's the Cat Williams year of truth. They are naming names.
See, if y'all remember a couple years ago, that was my whole shtick. Who are we talking about? Not just the DED. Who runs the DED? Who are the people making these decisions?
Department
Because
of
they gotta come.
Right. Department of Economic Development is appointed by the governor. The head of the economic department, the head of the Department of Economic Recovery, the DED, excuse me, the head of that was a black man that they claimed had a conflict of interest with his cigar bar, and he stepped down real quick before any trouble really started. Then Pillin put his friend, his associate, in the position. And then all of a sudden, nobody wants to talk to Senator Wayne, Senator McKinney about $400 million coming to North Omaha and North and South Omaha. Nobody wants to consult with them, even though they had no offices in the DED had no offices in North and South Omaha. They had to build offices in order to manage this money because this has never happened in North Omaha.
Yep.
They didn't even have a mechanism for them to reach people in North and South Omaha. They had to open up some offices for this, and didn't think who were they consulting with? Who were they talking to? So they're out here in the legislature on a daily basis now. Like I just played. I had a meeting last night where I showed somebody some of the footage. So the senator, I think it was Linehan, was like, so I was trying to find out what the OEDC does. I looked on their site. I really don't know what they're doing. What are they doing? And Justin Wayne was like, they're one of the biggest landowners in North Omaha.
Man,
Why are they getting so have they done projects like this before? No, this $90 million is 7 times more money than their budget has ever been. They haven't done anything for the last 20 years.
yeah,
They,
we haven't even really talked about that airport project. We were set to talk about it, I think, last episode, but just never really got into it. We talk about other stories, but there's a lot surrounding that. Again, if you remember, we tried to play that audio, Senator McKinney calling out the governor and point to the fact that there's going to be people displaced as a part of this airport project. I didn't even know that they haven't even locked down really an area. There's apparently two different areas that they're planning on building on and
right.
haven't locked down one.
And they're not consulting with the senators on the areas. Pillen and them just decide they're going to take it over. They did a whole press conference on what they're going to do over there. And in the
Mhm.
press conference, Miss Erica Felt put this in Friends of First Sky in the press conference, was like, yeah, there's going to have to be some families that get sacrificed, displaced.
Man,
There's a whole article about families whose homes are going to get displaced, who urban farms and all kinds of stuff that's going to have to move over where Pillen and them are talking about putting the airport park.
yep.
It's a hot mess, bro. It's it's a hot mess. But so listen, this is kind of a big day for this. This is now 2 seasons we've been talking about 1024 money, ARPA funds, 531 money, the $450 million that came to North and South Omaha. We've gone 2 seasons with talking about the progress of all these things. We
Actually, three.
3 seasons.
Remember, we started with Follow the Money. We started following the money 2 seasons ago. Last season was Boost to the Roots.
No, it was 3 seasons ago, because before Boost to the Roots, it was Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. So we've been talking about this for 4 seasons, following this whole situation, watching them, talking to the senators. The senators been on talking about. I remember they were very optimistic about the fact that they were at the governor's office. The governor seemed to be amenable to things. It looked like it was going to go. They checked in with the governor. He's like, yeah, this is okay. This will work. Yeah, let's get some money. Let's get some money to him, to North Omaha. He's going to sign off on everything. Then we watched the progression of this thing. We watched brother step down from the DED. We watched Pillen put his boy in the DED.
Mm-hmm.
We watched them go from talking to the senators to not talking to the senators. Then there was word that Then there was a whole kerfuffle about whether or not Malcolm X Memorial Foundation should get some money, whether or not Charles Drew should get some money. They pulled some money out for those projects. Then there was a question about is nonprofit organizations supposed to be getting this money? I thought this was for economic development. I thought this was to build jobs out. Why are the so-called usual suspects getting the majority of the money?
Mm-hmm.
What are their projects? And now here we are. The majority of the money is going to organizations that are not creating jobs, which is what this was for. I'm gonna jump in the chat because as you can see, it's gonna be hard to stay on track today with what's going on right now. Anthony Rodgers right in the chat. Good morning, bro. He says we also need to discuss what role Commissioner Rodgers played. Anthony Rodgers Wright says people need to educate themselves right now on eminent domain law and the Uniform Relocation Act. The people have rights.
Yeah, there's some interesting points with that, especially dealing with the airport part, because in that DED Bible that they gave everybody who applied, there is some talk about relocation, and if projects have to deal with relocation and people having to be displaced, there's like a displacement act that they have to follow. There's certain stipulations that if they are displacing people, then they don't get the funds. Kind of going along with the senators are saying as far as the DED not following its own laws.
Yeah.
What do you going back to the conversation we had with Chris Baby Boy Bowling? How do you get anything done when the biggest crooks are the people running the show?
Oh man. It's a hot mess right now. Tony Johnson says there were chat chimers posting these same concerns to the Facebook group and getting banned for it. No, there weren't. That's untrue, brother Johnson. I'm the one that goes through all of the Friends of First Sky Omaha posts, and I never banned anything that had anything to do with this subject, especially. Marianne Williams in the chat says it's difficult to see so many people who haven't paid attention to the details to slam the senators like it's their fault. Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
That's my point. And
They, they wrote the law correctly. People are just breaking the law.
man, or just dropping the ball, as Senator McKinney said. But kind of going back to Tony Johnson's point, that's if any chats or any comments on the Facebook group were banned or blocked or taken down, it's because a lot of comments are coming in. Why isn't Senator Wayne doing this? Or like, come on, man,
I didn't even take those down.
y'all missing the conversation.
Right. Those weren't even coming down. We don't want to have misinformation on there at all. There has been a lot of people that's been on our Friends of First Sky Omaha saying it's Brother Wayne's and Brother McKinney's fault. I mean, like I said, we've been talking about this 4 seasons. If people haven't chimed in at some point to understand, what their job has been doing, what they've been doing for their job, and how the separation of powers means that they never had control of that money. They're only going above and beyond, going past their job, which is to make the bill and get the money to come, because they see that money's going to come and it's not going to go where it needs to go. The intent of the bill that they put together isn't being held up. As a matter of fact, like you said, Senator McKinney is saying you're not following the law, your own law,
Yep.
on this. Senator Wayne is on the floor saying you guys made deals 2 years ago on this stuff that you going back on. Marianne Williams, let's see, Miss Erica Phelps says, speaking of Senator McKinney and his bills, I'm worried that the Poverty Action Plan won't pass because I saw no buzz about leaving comment for it on the legislative site. You still can, it just won't be official. Okay. Appreciate you calling that out. We kind of put a call out there to back that bill, to really kind of, write your letters and so on. I know it was kind of spur of the moment, last minute, the day before that bill was on the floor. But yeah, I appreciate you calling that out. We need to do better with being able to chime up in time to back stuff to help some of these bills go.
Yeah.
Anthony Rodgers Wright says anyone who trusted the white supremacists did it to themselves. Sorry, not sorry. It was rickets, y'all. Got to stop falling for the okey doke, or the alabaster puppet master will keep using it and only reward their hand-picked Negroes. Okay, call it like it is. People, that's what I'm saying. People are calling this stuff out. Wanda Lewis says that's why I previously mentioned that there should be reviews and ratings, rating coming from the community and people that nonprofits are supposed to be serving, not just giving one another pats on the back and awards. Accountability for funds that they are receiving is what's needed. I highly suggest you go back and go to Friends of First Sky Omaha and look at the whole speech that Senator Wayne made, because he basically described what we talked about all the time about the poison lake. Nonprofits are helping each individual fish that are in trouble because they're swimming in the poison lake. This Economic Recovery Act was supposed to help fix the lake, fix the infrastructure, fix the reason why there's the poverty in the first place. And so why would anybody chime up? Especially foundations and nonprofit organizations that are there to do exactly that. They exist so that they can help the situation out here. So if they see a situation coming where we're helping ourselves by we got senators in our districts, what are they doing? They're hooking it up so that we can help ourselves. We can start our own businesses. We can hire our own people. We can create jobs in our area, create wealth in our area. Why would they be chiming up against that?
I'm still here. This phone is it's not working.
Okay. Yeah, so you were kind of choppy for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you want to peel that off, or and just
Yeah.
do voice.
Yeah, it was a do voice.
Okay. Bear with us, folks. We're having obviously having technical difficulties today, and doing the best we can. It's important that we have these conversations, so it's important that we hear Buddy's voice for
Yeah.
sure on this
Especially on this day.
on this day. Again, if you're just joining us, the DED is going to put out the list of people who awarded the 1024 money.
And not just putting it out, they're having a whole thing. I actually urge, if you can make it to pull up. They're having two town halls, I guess you would call them, two forums today.
Mm-hmm.
One is at the Fort Omaha campus at 2. The other is at the livestock exchange building in South Omaha at 4.
Senator Wayne hit me up 2 days ago. Said, "Did you guys get invited on to the announcement on Friday?" I said, "I didn't hear nothing about it, bro."
Yeah, just got the email yesterday, I think. Let me check. And that's another part about this. Like the whole communication behind this has been piss poor at best.
Maggie Miller Jenkins in the chat says, "Popping in late. I went to the Stonewall meeting, and apparently McDonald has a laundry list of criminal charges, yet he has aspirations for mayor." Interesting. Von Chapman says, Senator McDonald lied in information he distributed to senators on the floor, and both senators called him out. You got to watch it. Like I'm glad it's on Friends of First Sky Omaha. Just go check it out and hit the link and go to YouTube and watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. It's the most interesting legislative sessions I've seen. So watch
Great
the
American drama.
Yep. I'm gonna keep going in the chat here a little bit, buddy.
Yep.
I know that you're looking up something. What we need to do, since we didn't, you guys got to bear with us. We usually do this before the show, but we don't have to do it during the show right now. The articles that are the Jewel Rodgers is going to join us here pretty soon as a special guest. There's a project that she's working on that we're going to have her come on and talk about. Buddy, I wanted to see if you could find that article that's talking about the naming situation that she's doing, just so we can make sure that we got the information there. Yeah, appreciate that. She should be on here in about 3 minutes, so stay tuned for that, and we'll get prepared for her to talk about those situations too. But anyway, point is, and she's even with her situation, it's like get a hold of the public and get the public's opinion about stuff. This is a running theme for all these things. It seems like the public is always getting left out, especially in North Omaha. The voices are silenced all the time. They're trying their best to not speak to the public about nothing. We have an advantage here with our show and the fact that we talk to you, the chat chimers and the ghost listeners, and we get information all the time. We hear what you guys think of things all the time. Kind of start knocking on these doors like, this is what the public thinks. Since you guys don't want to have town halls and so on and so forth, we've been talking about 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. Here's what the public is saying. The people that live around here that have something to do with these things, that's what's happening.
Oh, I mean, they could try to silence us. They could try to ignore us, but y'all gonna get this work. Y'all gonna get this work. In the age where everybody got a microphone, everybody got a podcast, everybody has a phone with a camera and a microphone on it. Stop. Y'all gonna hear what we got to say.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna feel it.
There's no getting around it. We want all the smoke. That's what it is. And this is the Cat Williams year of truth. So it's going down. Mama God said First Sky was a forum to really bring the procession and the mess to the forefront. If you really wanted to know, all you had to do is chime in. They tried to lay it out in the line. Not just us, the senators. Senators came on to explain what's going on to us, step by step. Not 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Step by step, bro. Not 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there. Well, sound bite here, sound bite there. We've been in conversations with the senators for 4 seasons on this the very subject and others. So, what do you want to say? Marianne Williams says, being a Nebraska state senator requires you to work with the governor the same way Congress has to work with the president. Don't draw the wrong conclusions when the black and brown senators do. Always messing with them. Anthony Rogers Wright says, maybe we should shut it down. The piss poor communication is by design. We should protest this sham ceremony. Nothing for us without us. I hear that. Wanda Lewis says, shutting us out is a part of the norm. Only we can change that. Von Chapman says, when they say Nebraska is not for everyone, this is that example. Believe it.
Oh, yeah. They telling you. We don't want you here.
We're going to take a quick break. I see we have our special guest waiting in the wings, so we're going to take a quick break and come right back and have introduce our guest. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. Lots to talk about today. Lots to go through. For real, for real. But we're gonna get it started, man. We're gonna do the best we can. Again, if you're just joining us, we're having technical difficulties, but we're gonna push through all those so we can have this conversation. It's too important of a day here on this Friday, the 26th, 2024. If you believe in the concept of time, it is 7:45 right now. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Be right back, y'all. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. In the morning. Buddy, we're working through some technical difficulties. Thank you for that. We appreciate you guys bearing with us. We're going to go ahead and bring our special guest in. She needs to wait no longer. Ladies and gentlemen, Jewel Rodgers in the chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Peace. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Good,
Can't
good.
complain. Can't complain. You know, having tech difficulties, but we here. You know.
I heard you were having technical difficulties. I'm sorry about that.
Got to see my ugly mug instead of Buddy's beautiful face.
That's okay. You got a great atmosphere, the lights and whatnot. Good vibes in there. I can dig it.
Yes, good vibes only.
Well, first of all, just want to introduce yourself to our guests. I'm sure everybody knows who you are because this is kind of a family show where we are talking to people that we know, not just people that are just chiming in. So, but you know, let's do the formal thing. Introduce yourself if you would.
Okay, my name is Jewel Rodgers. I am spoken. I hope they're still on. Are y'all still on? Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
where'd you go?
Yeah,
Okay. My name is Jewel Rodgers. I'm a spoken word poet and public speaker from North Omaha, also a discussion facilitator, and I also work in the real estate sector as well.
Okay.
Real estate development specifically. So I'm trying to understand how to create new buildings.
That's interesting. Okay. Are you associated with the land bank at all?
I did go through the Land Bank Ambassadors program, and I also did buy my first 2 properties from the Land Bank.
Okay. Interesting. We weren't ready to talk to you about these things, but we're going to talk to you about these things eventually because
Let's have the discussion. Let's do it.
Now we know that you're Rose Reviews is asking, where is she from? How does she get started doing her work?
I'm from North Omaha. I got started because I was an observer of my environment. And when I went other places, they looked a certain way and I would come home and ours did not. And so for a while, I thought I wanted to be an architect because of that fact. So I started trying to become one. And I realized that design is very important, but the money is how development happens. You have to have a strong understanding of the financials, and you have to be able to make the financials work and bring the money together. So that's what I started to focus on.
Okay.
Specifically so that I could invest in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I feel that.
And you actually have done that. Of course, we were familiar with each other. We've done work. You've actually spoken some poetry on some of my music before, so it's definitely dope. But since then, I've seen you like create parks. You change spaces. You reused spaces. The park that you built was that a property that you got from the land bank?
Yeah, the first property I got from the land bank, I turned into a pocket park with a significant amount of help from my partner. And then there were also some people who helped just in the area, and people who just knew me came by, helped me put up stuff. So it was definitely a group effort. But the whole idea was to be an example of a landowner who provided value in the interim phases. Like a lot of times the land will sit vacant until someone's going to put a house there or whatever they're going to do. And so my goal was to be an example of someone who did not want to do that. And out of that effort, eventually we did a second one. And then we kind of created a community group called PlaceMade. And PlaceMade is sort of a resident-led group, but the goal is to create community amenities on vacant lots in North Omaha as an interim solution to blight.
Okay. Mama God is asking, what's a pocket park? This is the skate park that we're talking about, right?
No.
There's a skate park, and then there's also a small park on 24th and Spencer. And so a pocket park is basically a small park in between a space. Like it's like, oh, that's there. So for the pocket park that we have, it's in between two homes. It's a double long lot, and it's in between two homes. And we have like a pollinator garden. We have a hammock. We got some swing sets and some tables and stuff like that. And then the one that you're talking about is Caden's Corner, and that's on Pratt and Florence Boulevard, across from Coons Park's like tennis courts. And that's just the skate ramp and a bench and a small garden. Actually, a small garden, and Clarice and Blake from Skate Fest Omaha and Clarice from Healing Roots are doing a project there this year.
Dope. But you're definitely an example of, what we've been talking about as far as, and Sister Kimra in the chat, I'm sure this is music to her ears, talking about, reusing space in the community and looking at community space, not as an eyesore, some of these empty lots, but looking at them as opportunity, to really kind of bring life back to the community. So big shout out to you. She says you have also been fiscally sponsored by One Omaha. Can you kind of speak to that?
Yes, shout out. Shout out to Kimra and One Omaha and Alex and Noel. Like, shout out to all them.
Whole team, squad.
Yeah,
One
real.
Omaha squad gets
The
down.
support is real. It's actually happening. It's genuine.
Yeah.
So yes, we did get a small grant to be able to support more people that were involved in PlaceMade. Specifically, there are 3 things going on. One of them, we're creating sort of like a, think of it, when you see a pantry, a little small sort of like open pantry in an area. So it's sort of that, but on the other side, there's also a mini art gallery. And we're collaborating with the Union for Contemporary Art to do that with one of the members in PlaceMade. Then there's another guy named Carl, and he wanted to do an information session on the Inflation Reduction Act and how people could get low or no cost energy upgrades to their home. And so we wanted to provide funds for that. And then there's just general funds for outreach to try to get more people involved in the group.
Man, technically, we talk about blighted areas in North Omaha, and a lot of them has to do with empty lots that are in between houses like the ones you described. Technically, we can just have a bunch of mini pocket parks all over the place, really. Like if we want to get down.
You could, something that could be there. I was just at NONA, North Omaha Neighborhood Alliance, just relaunched their meetings yesterday evening and showed us this map of all of the out-of-state land ownership in North Omaha, North and South Omaha, and it was a significant amount. Lamp Renierson put that together.
Okay. Actually, shout out to Kimra. She sent us that map, and I actually texted her this morning trying to figure out where that was from. So that was from a NONA meeting. I saw that, and it's crazy how much space is owned by out-of-state individuals. And I wonder, even out of country individuals. I was just kind of hearing, on Instagram podcast clip that they were talking about a young lady who's talking about buying property from some guy from Africa who, he was just in Africa. He had the space, didn't really even know the market value. He had a number that he wanted, and that's really it. Just a bunch of people holding it to make money, but not really considering the community that's surrounding these properties.
Yeah, she made an offer, and he sold it to her, and now she's in the community dealing with some community land. So, yeah, that's what's up. The stuff that you're into is really interesting to me because of that. Like we've done stories on the land bank, and we talk about we had a whole season called Space is the Place that was really about us or where we fit, where Black Omaha fits in Omaha. Like where are we living at? What places are they trying to get us out of? What
Mm-hmm.
places are they using? What parts of our neighborhood are they using in order to claim blight and to get tax credits
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff, right? So we're digging deep on some of these subjects here. So this is blowing my mind right now because now we're actually talking to somebody who's actually like doing something with the land, planning stuff for the land,
Man,
putting boots to the roots, like making something happen with these spaces that we've been talking about all this time. So that's what's up.
in a real way.
Appreciate that. Vaughn Chapman in the chat real quick asks, are you supported by the BID in any way?
I actually recently became a board member on the North 24th Street Business Improvement District.
North.
Okay. Dope.
That's with Lavonia Williams.
Yeah,
Lavonia Goodman?
yes, it is.
Got it.
Okay. Congrats. We've been trying to figure out a little bit of what's kind of going on with the BID or what's some of the developments happening along 24th Street. But I actually want to kind of pivot into unless you have a comment about that.
I am happy to be wherever the conversation is. If you want to circle back on it, we can.
Okay. Yeah, because before the time gets away from us, I did want to talk about the actual story that we have you here to talk about. Again, you're doing a lot of work, and so we kind of had to catch up. And reasonably so. We might have to have you back very soon, but wanted to talk specifically about the Spencer, project and the renaming and just kind of the importance of being able to name it. Of course, we kind of set the foundation. You have experience, and so just I want to start here. What to you? What is the importance of naming a space and kind of that being a part of taking ownership of a space?
I think it's about legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I think other groups are. Well, the developer is able to name the structure they create. That's just the facts of it.
Mm-hmm.
But as we continue to create spaces, I think it is important to take steps to maintain legacy and culture in our area in a way that we've always done that is through names and storytelling. And so a lot of people, I've gotten a lot of feedback that like I don't care about this name. And I'm like, okay. But nobody ever cares about the name until you give it the wrong one. Now we're all mad about the name. So let's just talk about it,
Now we're like, you didn't consult the neighbors on this.
Mm-hmm. Let it be named Robert E. Lee Square. See what happens.
Exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Say again, buddy.
The developments were initially named Kennedy Square East and Kennedy Square West, and the neighbors were like, we don't like that. And then they went into this renaming effort, and I was brought on with Heartland Next. Heartland Next is the group that reached out to me. That's Sarah Brune and Daniel Thomas. They reached out to me and were like, hey, we think you'd be great for facilitating these discussions and helping with outreach. And I said, sure, I would love to do that. This is something I like to do.
Okay.
Perfect.
We're also, just to keep it equitable, we're also working with Gloria Bautista. She's the graphic designer for all of this. She works with Alagia on the Juneteenth Joy Fest.
Hey, shout out to Lala.
Hey.
She's responsible for Lala's graphics for the Joy.
Yeah. Oh, yes, she definitely contributes. She's working on that right now.
Love it.
Dope. But I want to gloss over something you mentioned as far as like the response from the community itself. You're saying some people aren't really showing interest in this, or what is the response? I know there's a poll out there. What have been the responses thus far?
So initially we had a poll just to make sure we got all of the community suggestions, because the first thing that I noticed, I've been going to like community meetings just in general, pretty much wherever I've lived in the past. And a lot of the consistent feedback I hear in many contexts is like, y'all not listening to us. So the first thing that I wanted to do is at minimum, get the suggestions that come directly from people who care. So we got 53 suggestions, 53 people who chimed in on the first round, just to make sure we got everybody's ideas on the list as much as we possibly could. That poll was out for several weeks. And now this is the final one. On the final poll, all of the suggestions are there. And now we're voting on them to see what is rising to the top. It's been out for a couple of days. So far, we've got like 26 responses.
Wow. Okay.
I'm hoping we can get to like 100. I feel like that would be good.
When you get a chance, put that link. If you have that link handy, put it in the private chat that you see right there, and I'll copy that over to the chat so everybody can get to it and get to that poll. Kimber Snipes is bringing up some great points. She says, "I feel like what may appear to be anger and about the name is oftentimes angst about lack of communication with residents. I would
Yep.
even go so far as to say angst about the things being built in the neighborhoods in the first place. Because
Mm.
the naming it is one thing, but what did they ask if they wanted that development in the neighborhood in the first place? Like that, like we this is kind of the theme today. We often get left out of these conversations. Closed door conversations are always happening, and people are feeling of some kind of way about it. So I like what you're saying there. It could be that they're just not happy about the lack of communication. What do you think on that level?
Hmm. There's a couple different things happening there. I want to say that it's all from the Choice North team, and the Choice North team is the City of Omaha, Omaha Housing Authority, 75 North, and Brynshore Development. And they did
Mm.
actually have a series of engagement with residents specifically. I've heard through talking with people, because I go to their open office hours on Fridays from 1 to 3. So I've heard through talking with people who live there that initially they didn't get a lot of interaction from the residents, because like people were like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then they created resident ambassadors, and the residents themselves gathered other residents, and then they had a big meeting at the early learning center on 30th and Spencer, across from that Dailies liquor
Mhm,
store. They
mhm.
had a big meeting there, and that's when everybody started to kind of get it. Some people have been given the opportunity to go back and live there. Not even some people, actually. All of the residents have first right to live in that space again. Every single one. Some people who don't want to go back, they don't have to, but they have the opportunity to. And so that's that. I wanted to say that, to say that there was communication that happened directly with residents and folks who live there. I will say historically, time and time again, just in general, in the development space in general, particularly in communities like ours, yes, communication does lack.
I mean, it sounds like it's lacking now. This first I heard of any of those meetings or anything happening at that early learning center. I got family
Mhm.
lives all around there, and they didn't hear
Yeah,
about
and
it.
it's been going on for a minute. It's been several
Mm.
years.
So when you say residents, is that just people living in the Spencer area, or the projects themselves, or is that within the zip code? What was kind of the parameter of that?
Like the residents in the buildings themselves, like
Okay,
in
okay,
Spencer Homes.
okay. Um, so about the first right, because that has been a topic of conversation here as far as the displacement. What is that entail as far as first right? When the buildings are done, people can just come back and apply, or how does that process work to your understanding?
That's handled by Alvernia and Miss Khadijah. They both work through that process. And to my understanding, if you are in good standing when you left, you are able to come back. And if you still maintain the same qualifications and whatnot, you're able to come back. Like, so basically, if things are as they were before you left, you're able to come back. I'm sure there's some fine print that goes beyond that and deeper than that, in terms of, I see some comments here like, are there any new barriers returning, like credit checks or criminal offenses or higher cost? Higher cost, absolutely not. I do know that for a fact. No.
Okay, okay,
This is a mixed income development. Everybody, this is the residents who are going back into this space. The same income that they limits and whatnot that were there before, that's the exact same now. So
okay.
definitely not higher cost for sure. I know that for a fact.
Okay. Um, well, I think everybody's got the same kind of sentiment here that we're talking about. Wanda Lewis says residents only get the opportunity to return if their income allows. Kimmer says hopefully the residents never had any infractions. The reason why we're talking about this because when we started talking about all these things in the season where we were doing kind of spaces to place, we were talking about whether or not people actually are able to go back to those spaces. They actually do. We kind of put out a call to see if anybody has been able to move back into areas that they were displaced from. So there's a lot of concern behind that, and that's something that we can obviously continue another discussion on another time on. So right now, what really was going on is, yeah, I mean, we're trying to talk about it all. We realize that you don't have all the answers to the whole the
Right,
whole
right.
deal. So we don't want to put you on the spot, but I think people are just this concern that you're seeing in the chat is an ongoing conversation we've been having now for about 3 or 4 seasons. of speaking on these things and having these questions and trying to get these questions answered. So like I don't want to have you have to answer every question that we have on these things, but I do want to concentrate back on the success that you're having with the naming rights, with the naming campaign, and also and tell us some of the. Are there already people out there that are suggesting certain names, and
Yep.
are they relevant to the neighborhoods, and like what's happening with the actual names?
Okay, let me pull it up.
And you got the
So
you got
I
the
will say
info right there.
one thing that I would consider a success, but also should have been the case to begin with, in my opinion. Like I said, they named it Kennedy Square East and Kennedy Square West. Well, Kennedy
Mhm.
Square West was actually going to be on the site of what is currently the MLK Center.
Hmm.
So we probably should have already been thinking perhaps we should maintain that legacy. So we in the poll and through community conversations, through the office hours, through the door knocking that we did, because we door knocked the immediate area of the two sites,
Mm.
and through all of that, the feedback was like, why are we getting rid of this name? So that is even just reflected in the poll itself. It's like, yeah, we don't want to erase that legacy. And
Right.
sometimes I think we also, I'm working on like having a higher level of empathy, and I don't fully understand why you would see a site like that and decide, oh yeah, let's name it something else now.
Yeah.
But I
Mhm.
think also there's something about the fact that like some people do not have the same experience that residents do in North Omaha, and
Mhm.
maybe like they don't have the cultural like intelligence. Sometimes they just don't have that proper context to fully understand how offensive that can truly be
Hmm.
to a very large group of people. So luckily that that space will be maintaining the Martin Luther King legacy, and on the other space that
Nice.
is currently what we're also voting on right now.
Okay. That's what's
And
up.
that's formerly
Uh,
Spencer East, right?
Um,
Hello?
Actually, no, because Spencer East is across from Spencer East is on like by closest to 24th and Spencer would be like the nearest node.
Okay.
That's
So it'll be
technically
Spencer
Spencer
West, I'm
East,
thinking.
but right, but Kennedy Square West, or excuse me, Kennedy Square East is what was once Spencer Holmes West.
okay.
Look, okay, this was not Jewel Rodgers was not there when this was going down. I just want to say that out loud so we all know Jewel was not present when that was going down. That was
Right.
just how that was happening. Now, I will say, even though all of the new developments can fit on one side, on the other side of the highway, it is still replacing all of the units removed one for one. So
Mm.
it isn't like, oh, so now there's less housing. No, there's still actually this same equal amount of housing.
Interesting. Okay. Brianna Fool is in the chat. Good morning. She's over here on YouTube. She said Jewel is doing great work on this project. We're lucky to have her in North Omaha. Appreciate the vote of
Yes.
confidence there. Rad gal Bree. That's what's up. The guy says there's a neighborhood park on 18th and Spencer that was named after my grandfather, Elbert R. Ross Sr., in about the early 90s. I went by the park several years ago and noticed the park has a different name.
Mm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know Grandpa had a park.
Yeah, I'd like to get down to the bottom of that. You said you didn't know Grandpa had a park.
Yeah, that would be my great grandfather.
Didn't know he had a park. Yeah.
No.
I was thinking the same thing because there's some street names after some of my great uncles and stuff out here, and because I don't live by there, it's interesting. I wonder if I go by there if the names change. Von Chapman in the chat says, has Susie Buffett ever attended any Berkshire Hathaway inspired projects regarding local residents' concerns? I don't know if anybody here would know the answer to that question, but it's an interesting one. RG says, cultural intelligence, severe lack of that around this way. Interesting, quoting your words. Rome's Reviews, which is Mayor Sanchez, says the Senator Ernie Chambers Center has a nice ring to it for naming.
Hmm.
I think he's going to
Okay.
have a center of his own pretty
Yeah,
close to there.
that's what Miss Gayla's working on. His daughter, Gayla Chambers.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, you're breaking up, buddy. Say again. Can you
Oh,
hear
okay. I said Miss
No.
Chambers, Gayla
Oh,
Chambers. That's on my end, Jewel. Don't worry, Jewel. That's on my end. I was saying Miss Gayla Chambers, former Senator Ernie Chambers' daughter, is working on a center for him.
Got it. We just put in the chat the survey monkey, the survey for the naming. So this is if you guys want to participate in this now. About participation, I'm thinking that this is probably for people that live around that neighborhood more so than just like anybody in the city, right?
correct.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So if you if you living in Midtown or something, don't fill this survey out.
respectfully.
Yeah, respect for
It is truly no disrespect. Just
yeah,
please understand where the priority lies. It's
yeah,
definitely for folks in the area who live in the area, who are from the area, who are who have the most buy-in, are most affected by, and most interested in maintaining the legacy of their community in their culture.
yeah, yeah. That's real. So yeah, we'll leave it up to you. We put that survey there. Just make sure that survey, the link gets to the people that are in the area that this is relevant to, and let's not try to, we don't need to start bombarding them with any kind of any of our the names, some obscure name we ain't even living in the area. So please do that very respectfully. Kimber Snipe says, I just hope I don't have the same feeling entering that space that I do when I walk into Highlander once it's done.
And I saw that, and I will have to say it's the same group, so it is
It's probably gonna be the same.
likely.
Yeah.
Now, we do have a variety of different housing types. There's going to be a multifamily building, and then there will be like different types of other rental housing. It'll be like row homes, duplexes, things like that. Yeah, but you are all up. Okay, you know what? Live and work in the area. So, okay, come on now. Be for real. I'm talking about Kimber's.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you. We usually tell guests don't pay attention to the chat. We'll get to the chat. You just you just worry about what you're talking about.
I apologize.
Brother,
No, you good.
no, you good. Brother Knight says Frank Daly Square would be nice. I
would.
think I've heard this before. As a matter of fact, we heard you on 95.7 The Boss. Shout out to William King. And I think you were when I tuned in, you were talking about that has been a suggestion.
It's on there.
Right. Okay. So it's on the list of potential names. Is that what's going on?
Okay, so I actually have an email that we received from you that has about 4 names. I wonder, so has that list extended, or where is it stated? Where does it stand right now? Right now, I'm seeing MLK Square, Prosperity Place, Opportunity Square, and Spencer Square. Are those the 4 leading, or has the
So
list expanded?
those were the 4 names that got the most votes during the suggestion phase. So as people were able to, I know, so as people were able to put in their own suggestions, they were also able to vote on what was already provided. So that's what they were doing. And so when that was being done, those are the names that were coming to the top. Now, after we got the overwhelming feedback about MLK, we pivoted then to the surname, the MLK Square or Place or Heights. And so now we have that, and that information will also help us to identify what may be the best step if we get another name for the second half. Actually, Malcolm X is one of the top names right now in the survey.
Okay.
Actually, but there are a lot of people from Omaha or that are currently living that are also on this list, and there's just a lot of folks who also maybe just haven't been talked about a lot in the past, like who we don't know a lot about, but who had a significant impact in our community. So I think it's a great list, and I'm glad that that's what people wanted. They wanted to honor someone in our area. What I did find that was interesting, though, is that once we were doing the poll, a lot of people were voting for the theme more so than an individual. They're like, oh, Prosperity Place, love that. Yes, or Opportunity Square, love that, because it was inspirational. It was sort of like speaking to a new vision for the future. So that's also been something that we've been having to juggle is the sentiments in the community meetings versus the poll itself. But we're actually starting to find a little bit of an equilibrium, so that's good.
Okay, good.
So So getting down to the nitty of the gritty of this, how is the choice going to be made? What's the
Hmm.
process for actually after all the polling and after all the surveys are done? Who makes the decision? When is that decision going to be made?
So we have to submit we have to submit our suggestions by the end of March
To who?
Okay.
to the Choice North team, which is 75 North, Brenshaw, the City of Omaha, and Omaha Housing Authority.
Got it.
The idea there is to literally forward the names that got the most votes. I feel like it would be weird if we asked everybody to vote and then just chose whatever name we was going to choose. You know, like that just
Oh yeah.
doesn't
Seems
feel like that's
performative.
not the vibe. So we're not going to do that. So we've got this poll that's going on for the names, and then the next phase of that is design. So our next meeting is on February 17th, and it's really more of a focus group to really refine the brand direction of the names themselves. So we got the names. Now we're creating a whole visual brand and aesthetic for those names.
Okay, so and then you deliver them to that group of the four entities, and then they vote amongst themselves on which one to choose.
Well, we provide them two concepts. So what we're to be able to help maintain some equity in that process, what we're going to probably end up doing is forwarding two suggestions that, while they are maybe be different visually, they very much reflect what we've gotten for the survey. So the idea
Mhm.
is to say that no matter which concept they choose, they are still choosing something that was of the highest interest to the community.
Okay. I can't wait to see the designs. That's pretty exciting. I didn't know you guys were
Yeah.
doing a whole design concept around the names too. That's cool.
Yep, that's the next step. So that's on February 17th. We have that focus group.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah. I see in the email you have some color choices, and so you're really getting down to the nitty gritty of the design choice.
Mhm.
I'm really appreciating this though, because I do feel like now I'm seeing, okay, there is at least a what seems to be an equitable process up to this point. As you said, hopefully, once the final decision is made from the city OHA, 75 North, that people are satisfied. Hopefully, after all of this, it seems like it seems like you were the right choice for this survey process. So I'm definitely excited to see you on that and hear what has gone on
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah,
Um,
we're trying to keep it as equitable as possible. I'm glad I wanted to I've because I there are decisions that could have been made that weren't made because we talked about it. And
Mhm.
because I've had the context of hearing from people, I always hear that this is wrong. So we probably shouldn't do this. We should
mhm,
probably go this way, go this
mhm,
direction.
Yeah.
That has been good. And it is a small step. Like the name and the branding and the design is a small step. But on the back end, like this is still development, and that's where I'm like that's the space that I'm in. I'm trying
mhm,
to do development, and so all of it really is tied together, because at the end of the day we need more people. The truth is that we need more people who live and grow in our spaces to create new spaces. Like that's really where that equity starts to come into play. So the
mhm,
name is a small step, but it does maintain legacy, and even more so the form of a building and the culture that and how you feel when you walk into a development. All of
mhm.
those things do play a part. And so it does start small, but as time moves forward and more people, enter that lane, like that will grow, and the capacity for us to have spaces that reflect our culture and our values holistically, that possibility will grow as well. And we just have to continue to grow engagement in as many ways as possible as that process is happening long term.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It is 8:19 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, if you're just joining us, we're sitting here with Jewel Rodgers, and she's letting us know about the Spencer Project's naming situation. And I've learned a lot from what you're talking about here. One of the things that I'm learning is that our chat chimers really want some information about the structure of what's going to happen here. Like Tony Johnson says, the effort helping residents acquire higher paying jobs that would jeopardize them from being able to live there. So lots of questions that I don't want to really jump into with Miss Rogers right now. I want to find some other people that we can bring on to answer some of these housing questions. Maybe somebody from the housing authority that can answer some of these kinds of questions.
Or 75
Um,
more.
75 North. Wanda Lewis
Mhm.
says, will there be any stacked units or row homes, flats, or townhouses that could
Yep.
assist with the name choice? Okay. So
There will be those housing types.
very cool. Brother Knight is also talking about Frank Daly. He says his name should be leading, although risque. He did much for the area. So some opinions there. Von Chapman is saying equity comes into play when we own the spaces now being constructed and controlled by developers. So yeah,
Please remember, if we own the spaces, we are the developer.
right. And you're saying the developer names the space.
Mhm.
So but even if it is us owning the spaces and we're the developers of the space, we probably should still do this process of going to the neighborhood and finding out how the people that is living around the neighborhood would like this area to be seen and felt and heard and named.
Mhm.
So and I don't think it's a small thing. I think the naming of a thing. I mean, when you think it's the Spencer projects, you already got a vision in your head what that is, what that means, how you feel, the level at which of importance in the neighborhood you feel that is. You might have lived there, have bad memories. You might have lived there, had good memories. There's a lot to that, and I can understand why there's pushback on what you're going to call it, because in the end, so it's like naming a kid. You're setting the tone for that kid. You name that kid something
Mhm.
crazy, then he gonna you know hey, if you hey, you name that kid something crazy, you know what kind of trouble you're gonna have in the future, having the battles. But anyway, so I don't think it's a small thing. We obviously are out here fighting for our neighborhoods.
Yep.
We want development to happen in our neighborhoods in the way that we want it. We don't want gentrification. We don't want to get kicked out of our neighborhoods. We have all these wants, and we're trying to sit at the table and tell people what we want here. But a lot of times the stuff like naming, we treat like it's small. We treat like it's a small decision, but it's really not. It's a big decision as well.
I think because in the past it's been weaponized. Like
Mm.
sometimes people be doing something crazy and then they'll be like, well, let's give this to the community to name. And so
It's a
I don't
symbol.
blame anybody for having, distrust in the process at all.
Yeah.
I really don't. It's just the fact that like if you're dealing with something with my name on it, like we're not doing that. Like it's going to be
Mhm.
equitable. We're going to have a real conversation. We're not throwing out these little raggedy activities to say we engage in the community. We're going
Right.
to really ask what you're talking about, and we're going to forward that message. Like, so I do have to say, like a lot of times when I encounter that feedback or pushback, like I get it. Like it doesn't offend me or make me upset. Like I get it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Mhm.
wouldn't be like, we own all this, but we'll let y'all name it, but we own this. That's I can imagine that some people feel like that's the attitude.
Mhm.
But I push back on that because I think the naming in the way that you are claiming your environment there and helping set the mood and the tone through the name, through the look, all of it is very important. So anyway, appreciate that. I don't want to keep on going on and on about that, round and round about that. We will let you go here shortly, and just want to know: is there anything else that you would like to mention while you're here? Any? We're a couple of musicians, a couple of artists here. So what are you doing art wise? What's happening with your next poem? When's your next
Hmm.
performance going on? Like let's jump off this for a minute and talk about you and what you're doing artistically.
I am working on a poetry collection
Dope.
that I plan to have complete in July. It's called Wax Over Water.
Mm.
It's 20 pieces. The first 10 are geared toward young women in the first phase of their life, age 0 to 25.
Hmm.
And the second half is about my interactions with the built environment and real estate development and politics and egos and gentrification and all the things that I've been learning on my journey to be who I'm becoming
Mhm.
since I was 12 years old. So I'm trying to use my artistic practice to help educate people in the kinds of things that I'm learning as I'm moving through the development space in my life.
Hmm. Love it. You're
Yeah.
very talented artist. I'm glad to hear that you're working in your art and doing some things that we can put our hands on and check out at some point. And I think it's awesome. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I'm glad to see you around. You were kind of gone for a while. Like I remember us meeting years ago, and then all of a sudden you weren't around for a while, and then you came back, and you came back like a whirlwind, just like in the neighborhood doing things. Look,
I feel like I came back quiet. I'm a lot more quiet and refined than I was before I left. And I think that's a factor of all the things I started learning, because I was very vocal about development myself. Like I was like, why aren't we doing X, Y, and Z? Then I started to learn about development, and I'm like, oh, okay, X, Y, and Z is really hard. Like if it were me and I was trying to figure it out, as I now currently am, I would have a different appreciation for how difficult some of the things are. Not to say that they're not, valid or possible, but it's just to say that sometimes it isn't as easy as, why didn't you do this? Like there's so many different factors happening. So I went out there and learned more about real estate development. I got an education in that, and I was like, ooh, okay. Humbled me a little bit, you know what I mean? then I came back though and started trying to do the work, and that's where I'm at. That's my whole goal, has been to wanting to help co-create the built environment in my area.
Man, that's that. I'm glad you put it the way that you did, because that's kind of a big part of why we're here. For First Guy Omaha, why this platform exists, and trying to co-create the environment that we would like to see. And it's not, a lot of times we get on this tick about pointing fingers and really holding people accountable, and that's reasonable. But at the same time, having this kind of empathy, and being able to you need that level of empathy to really get real fruit from the conversation, to actually, not put people on the defense, and to actually get down to the bottom of things, and actually have real products and real progress and real change.
Right.
Because you have to have that understanding and not be in a combative standpoint. So I appreciate you humbling yourself and really having a conversation, really putting your hands on the thing and making sure that the ship is steering in the right direction.
That's so true, though. The point that you say about holding other people accountable, and then but also having empathy enough to have the discussion. I'm finding all the time that it actually is sometimes very, I would rather calmly have a discussion about something than I would be accusatory.
Mm-hmm.
Only so that I could learn the information and get to the bottom of it, as opposed to serve myself in, okay, well, I made you feel bad, and so now you've done wrong.
Right.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, we're trying to solve a problem. And if we can't have open, honest communication about the problem, it's not getting solved. And
Right.
that requires not only for you to check other people, but then for us to check ourselves and learn how to hold ourselves accountable, and learn how to stay calm when someone got us super messed up. Like all of that also helps in being able to have the discussions that can unlayer a level of education that brings us forward and helps us solve these problems for real.
That last thing you just said was the elevator pitch for First Guy Omaha in the morning. That's exactly our whole style, reason for doing this. It's all about respect. It's all about having respectful dialogue, even when you disagree, making it so that it's an open, honest place where you can come and have that conversation, not feel attacked, and all those things. So now we know why you are part of the First Guy Omaha fam. You are living that life right along with us, and about it. And I know we know that that's the solution, to have these kinds of conversations. So really appreciate you very much. We've gone through the whole show with the whole interview without telling people that you're the daughter of Johnny the Jet Rodgers, and we did that on purpose because I want you to, you are out here making your own waves and doing your own thing, and that's always, and that's just a side point. That's not everything. You do what you do, and we want to highlight that. So for all you that don't know, that don't already know, most people probably do, but for those of you that don't know, yes, you are the daughter of Johnny the Jet Rodgers. Shout out to Johnny the Jet. He is a supporter and a friend of First Guy Omaha, a supporter of Mind and Soul back in the day. He's been doing stuff with us for a long time, and we consider him an elder and a legend, and we consider him a very important mentor to us for a lot of things. So shout out to, I just want to give props to Pops, but but I'm really glad to talk to you and really understand where you're coming from, what you're about, and what you're doing, and we love to have you back another time and dive further into some things if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Thank
Sweet.
you.
Man. Hey, real quick, Mama God giving you some love. She says, I have always laid homage to you, my sister, since I heard your poem on Buddy's Killer Hoodie track. That
Hey,
was super dope. Go get it, my sister. So getting
Thank
some love out there. Getting some love.
Thank
yeah,
you.
you getting a lot of love now out of the chat. Check it out. Miss Erica Fell says you're doing great things. I appreciate getting to know about you from you. That's what's up. Appreciate that very much. Yep. Omaha, look at Pops. Omaha is blessed with an intelligent, driven, and inspirational sister. Jewel is yet another. That's what's up.
There you go. There you
All
go.
right.
Jewel, whenever you're ready to come back, the door is wide open. You're welcome. We would love to continue having a conversation with you, especially about space, place, how these spaces and places are being used, and making sure it's equitable, especially with all this 1024 nonsense going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't even touched that iceberg, but yeah, we'll have we'll have conversations about that. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
You
you.
have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. There you go, man.
And now my camera wants to do what it's supposed to be doing.
Your camera was like, all right. I guess I'll. All right, fine. You're gonna do the show anyway, then I guess we'll just go on to work.
Ain't the devil's like, I guess you got it this time.
It's all right.
You beat me this time, God.
You messing with First Omaha. You got to be quicker than that.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
We'll be right back, y'all. Shout out to Jewel Rodgers.
Man.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Right near the beach.
Right near the beach. Man, you seen the trailer of this Bob Marley movie? How you feeling about that, man?
I did. I don't know, man. I'm not a biopic fan. I feel like I don't know. It's hard to get a biopic right. You know what I mean?
The casting, man. The casting.
Yeah, they just throwing that dude in everywhere, man. You find a good looking black dude, and he's just gonna have to play everybody now, I guess.
Man, yeah.
Isn't that yeah? Anyway, I don't know. We'll see.
Side note, welcome back.
His son Ziggy Marley though said it's time for Pops to have his movie.
Oh yeah.
So it sounds like the family's behind it. So yeah, maybe it'll be good. We'll see.
The story has to be told.
Yeah, it does have to be told. That's real. Welcome back, 8:33 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, well into the second hour of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
And man, I'm what's up?
I'm just talking about the time. You said well into the second hour. I'm like already, man. Geez.
Yeah, about half an hour left. We wanted to have an extensive haps. Didn't really get a chance to pull many haps though this morning. Like I said, we were dealing with technical difficulties all day, and we apologize for those. We're happy that you guys stayed with us, stuck with us, and kept the conversation going even through the tech difficulties. But we had to do it. It was an important show to do today. I'm glad that we had Jewel Rodgers on, and shout out to her, and that was a great interview. But there's other things going on today. Very important, pivotal moments are happening. It is Friday. If you're just joining us, it's Friday, and the DED is supposed to be announcing who is getting some of those ARPA funds, 1024 money, all those good things. We've been talking about it a lot. The gist of the conversation is, it seems like the money's been mishandled. The senators are still in the legislature fighting for it to go where it needs to go. It is going to some of the what we have deemed as like the usual suspects, not us, but the chat chimers. You guys have been saying the usual suspects are getting the majority of the funds. And then something came up last night as I was in the middle of a meeting. I saw an article about somebody who is already a business that's already gotten some funds, and this is what when we say that this thing feels like a setup. Check this article out, buddy. I don't know if you were
Yeah,
able
I
to
got it.
glance at it. Let's look at this thing, man, because I'm
Yeah,
kind of I sat up in my
and
seat last night when I seen it. Like, what?
yeah, man, and it's kind of mind blowing the kind of the response that may come out of this, as far as just now bringing in question the whole credibility of the whole process, especially after all the scrutiny the process has been under. But WOWT reports a fraud suspect has been listed as a recipient of grant from Nebraska Governor. This again coming from Brian Master of WOWT, the Office of Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen is planning to announce the list of grants to North and South Omaha business and organizations today, the equivalent of $234 million, which is a whole nother conversation. But on Wednesday morning, the list was handed out on the floor of the unicameral to all the senators during a debate. One of the recipients on that list instantly stood out for the wrong reasons. According to Channel 6 News, they recently did a story on the business's owner after his indictment and guilty plea in federal court. So these aren't even allegations. This is something that this person has been indicted and has pled guilty to in federal court. According to the economic recovery's application, Kelly's Complete Auto Detailing has been providing customers a high quality service for more than 25 years. Owner Richard Kelly told the state that he wanted to add 8 new people to his current workforce of 17 employees and fix up the place at 30th and Manderson in Omaha. He asked for $75,000 of the governor's team. You guessed it, decided to give him $50,000 for economic recovery. Again, another point of conversation. The problem is, however, he currently owes the federal government more than $189,000 for creating a scheme to defraud COVID relief funds. According to the article, in an indictment issued in May 2022, prosecutors say Richard Kelly applied for a significantly inflated loan through the Paycheck Protection Program, also known as the PPP loan, claiming he had more employees than he actually did and more business than he actually did. For example, he told the government that his car detailing business had gross revenues of $375,000, when in fact IRS records indicated that that wasn't even close, more like $42,000. Kelly asked the government for $675,000 in pandemic loans, of which he received $190,000. Through perhaps the most striking thing is the fact that he applied for the state grant 5 months after he was arrested by the feds. Kelly could get jail time when he's sentenced in March. On his application for a grant to the state, he mentioned his accountant, Ramel Thompson, was also part of his auto detailing team. The government has alleged that Mr. Thompson was the ringleader of the whole PPP fraud scheme. So again, this is one of about 400 applications that went out one of 400 applications that went out for this whole, North Omaha Recovery Grant. But apparently, this may bring into question the whole process.
Yeah, they're asking who did it. Did anybody do any vetting of these organizations? So this is just more of they're trying that more reason to control this money, more reason to hold the money back, more reason to hold the process up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, who just think about that. They've already awarded this person this money. They didn't vet the person. I mean, we can go back to the PPP loan stuff and ask about that. Well, how does somebody get their hands on $170,000 without being vetted? We've gone through the process, and they've looked at every detail of our business, every financial statement. How is it that they can look at all those things and then award you some money and then act like you took that money and now that's fraud? There's a lot of questions.
Yeah, a
Sound
lot of questions.
look like brother did some stuff wrong on both fronts. But the biggest part of the story to me is what they're talking about doing. I got this picture up because this is the
spot.
place of business, the spot, and it's significant. It's on 30th Street, right?
Mm-hmm.
I drove up and down 30th Street. It looks like all of 30th Street is for sale. and you got little spots like this. I'm wondering what's going to happen to him. Now here we are talking this brother facing jail time, all kinds of stuff. What's going to happen to this business? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Again, the article kind of wraps up this portion of it by saying, of course, this begs the question: who else wasn't vetted properly by the governor's team for these $234 million worth of grants? 6 News attempted to reach out to the governor's office, but left a message after no answer, which it kind of seems par for the course as far as a lack of communication in this whole process. But again, it's concerning on many levels. First of all, why is everybody getting $50,000? Why is everybody getting the same number for wide variety of different projects? Some, just trying to hire a few people and buy some equipment. Some building completely new buildings and edifices and tearing up streets and like.
why are people who are putting in for projects of $1 million, $2 million only getting 50,000? Why is the majority of of this money going to organizations that aren't going to do any economic development in the area? Why is $90 million going to entities that are not producing any jobs, while everybody else who's trying to work a small business situation? There's so many. Marianne Williams says that's why Senator McKinney calls it the Department of Exclusion and Dropping the Ball.
Man,
the DED. Department of Exclusion and Dropping the Ball. So many questions. Here we are again, black man face on the news as somebody who is involved in fraud that asked for some of this money. They're trying to use this as an example of all the black fraudulent businesses out here we shouldn't have never gave you Negroes money.
Man, again, mind you, this is one application of 400. One application of 400 is now causing the whole process to be called into question.
Wanda Lewis says, look at all the recipients that was not vetted, including nonprofits. Why are nonprofits getting the money? Malik Rodgers, people happy and quiet with scraps. Look how quiet many of the applicants have been just out of a promise of funding. Facts, bro. We got partners that I was surprised stayed quiet because they knew they thought they was going to get a check. Don't know if they did. Don't know if the check was 50,000 like everybody else. Who knows? The whole process has been messed up, and them not really communicating with the public is only part of that problem. It's only part of that problem. The lack of solidarity.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to do the math. Like, okay, it was just short of 400 applications.
Mm-hmm.
What is a pool of what, 230 something $million? What is 50,000 times 400?
Well, it's more than that. It started off 450 million. We're not talking about the 90 million that's going to this project. We're not talking about the 20 million that's going to Charles Drew. We're not talking about the 20 million going to the South Side. So when it comes down to what it comes down to, it's almost like they were like, let's fund all these big projects and nonprofits and development, and then everybody else just so that because all these people who got small businesses are just arguing so much, let's just throw them some scraps. Let's just throw them something. Ms. Erica Phil says the 50,000 is extra concerning because each grant application is scored, and then score is to determine the award amount. You can't tell me they all scored the same. No,
that's what I'm saying.
They did not.
And again, I think you kind of missed my point, Paul, as far as like, yeah, I'm not considering the 90 million, not considering any of that. According to this WOWT article, there's about $234 million worth of grants going out.
Right. No, I get
if
you.
If everybody's getting 50,000, how much is left over? Like, is that even all the money? That's my point.
It's not. There's still money going out. There's still money going out from that 232 is my point. There's still money going out to some of the rest of this mess. Von Chapman, because it's planned obsolescence. RG says so they can justify giving the remainder of those funds to Creighton,
man,
or to the lake.
That's my question.
or to the shovel ready stuff in other places that
Yeah.
Senator Wayne was talking about.
If everybody gets 50,000, how much is left over, and what are they planning to do with that remaining?
Stuart Knight says because they're possibly wasting away some of the money to keep the bulk at the end of the program. They're not just doing that. They've already given stuff away to other. Look at how we were surprised. Another thing about that article about this dude who committed fraud allegedly. How he got some money already, or he's on the list?
Yeah.
Did they give him the money yet?
Again, the final awardees are set to be announced later this afternoon.
There you go.
But according to this article, the governor's team decided to give him 50,000.
Right. Tanaya Patterson said, dude was a part of the original 367 though, so he made it through the special committee. All them cats looked at all the records. We had face-to-face interviews with the DED. Our application got held up because we failed to send them a financial document from 2 years ago. They came back and asked for that.
Not to mention, we filled out 5 different applications. Keep that in mind. Like, this isn't just you fill out a sheet, email it, and then you get a response. Like, it's been a 2-year ongoing process of filling out the application to get on the Olson report. Olson, who again, remind you, they paid Olson like $2 million.
Olson had recommendations. The DED first said they were going to just go off the Olson recommendations. Then they decided to go off of their own recommendations.
Had another application.
Which you had another application. Then if they offered you some money, you had to accept the money and then do another application.
Fill out another application. And then once you filled out that application, then some other state window that opened up, and then you had to go in there and fill out another application.
If you had any changes to your Olson application, you had to fill out another application to show them what your changes are. They didn't tell most people that. Most people are just accepting this 50 with the original plan they had from Olson, which they could have been asking for $1 million. So this is the reason why this is scary, because it's state money now. So what's going to happen is one of these businesses out here going to go ahead and accept that 50 without having changed their plan, and then they're going to probably come back and be like, "Yo, what'd you do with that 50? Well, you didn't do what you said you was going to do on the original Olson report, so now you owe us $50,000 or you going to jail." Like it feels like a setup. And I'm gonna say it now because like we have in good faith been reaching out to them and trying to get them on the show and get some clarification about these things for months now. And we have not gotten any word back from nobody. They ain't talking to us like they ain't talking to the senators. But Cameron says there are people who will get more than 50 clearly. Yeah, they will. But a small business like us, if this is economic development, they want us to do something about creating jobs. Does anybody know anything about money? How you create jobs with $50,000?
Man, jobs, plural.
We still doing this for free. Even if we got the $50,000, we'd still be doing this for free. We can't live off of that. Like, it is worse than, bro, that's just us, bro. There's people that got facilities that are like, listen, we need this money in order to expand our facility, in order to hire 6-7 more people. Like, it's a reasonable $1.2 million ask. And they were like, nah, you get 50. And it's funny because like in my circles, I literally am like, did you hear from the DED? And they'll be like, yeah, did you hear from DED? Yeah, 50? Yeah, 50. Like it's like that. You got 50, right? Yeah. It's almost a big joke. They offered you 50? Yeah, 50. Okay, yeah. Did you?
I mean, that's again, that's the.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, so the thing is though, it don't seem to be no rhyme or reason, because it doesn't mean you can do anything that you applied for, the plan that you made, the pro forma that you wrote out saying how much money you plan on making next year, the proof of your business, all the things that you had to do for this application, all this whole plan that you had to make and say, this is the reason why I'm asking for this much money. This would help me take my business to the next level. Just thinking like Shark Tank and all that kind of stuff. They go to Shark Tank and they're like, yo, give me 50,000. I'll give you 2% of the company, and this will help. And what would that 50,000 do? Well, that 50,000 will help me buy more material to make more of these floaties or whatever it is they're doing on Shark Tank. Okay, and they see that, they go, okay, yeah, we can see you making some money from that. Here's some money. Go ahead and do your plan. This is the Department of Economic Development. They're supposed to be helping you develop. They're in cahoots with the Better Business Bureau and the chamber and everywhere else. Like all these entities that they're supposed to help you build your business out, take you from 2 employees to 8 employees to generate some jobs. Straight up. And not just to generate jobs, for your business to pay taxes to the state. This is how they make their money. Why would the nonprofits get it? They don't pay taxes to the state like that. Tamika Renee in the chat. Good morning. NOCP
Peace.
was non-selected. We were partnered with a large employer and higher learning institution and have a scholarship program in an original plan and LB 531 application, which was supposed to make us a priority application and make us exempt from scoring. We got nothing. Brother Kasim says, thank you, brothers, for speaking truth to falsehood. Man,
I'm really just trying to understand at the root of all of it. I'm trying to just understand. And it's very, very mind boggling and very concerning, to say the least.
Malik Rodgers says they know these 50,000 allotments are not going to work, and groups will be returning or declining money. Yeah. Some of us are going to end up taking this money, man. I'm trying, I'm nervous for a lot of small businesses right now.
Man.
I don't believe all applicants are getting 50 grand. No, not all. No, I'm just saying there's a big swath of people that there's these small businesses out here like us that are getting offered this kind of money.
I haven't heard anybody who hasn't received anything more, or who has received anything more than 50,000. I haven't heard everything that I'm hearing is 50,000.
I have
from everybody.
OEDC is getting 90 million for a project.
See, that's different though, because again, if you remember earlier, there were certain projects in this whole thing that were always supposed to get the money. Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, because Senator McKinney.
They weren't always. They had to go back and fight for that money from Malcolm X. Malcolm X is a nonprofit organization. DED was not going to give them money in the beginning.
If you remember, there's a stipulation to give a museum to somebody that was in the Nebraska Hall of Fame. That's how Malcolm X got through. Not because they're a nonprofit, because Malcolm X was entered into the Nebraska Hall of Fame.
Senator McKinney and Senator Wayne put that stipulation in there. That was not in there in the beginning, right?
Right, but that's my point. There was supposed to be 20 million for some kind of museum. Malcolm X was supposed to get it, but again, there's definitely some back and forth. But there was always going to be 20 million for some kind of museum.
Well, and there was 4 museums that applied. It wasn't
right. But my point is, there was money already set aside for certain special projects. The museum, the airport park.
You're using the wrong language. It wasn't set aside. It was suggested. All the senators can do is suggest projects to do this with. The DED had to make decision on what money is going to be set aside for them to get. Okay. And they decided to disregard what the senators suggested and do their own thing. That's why they're in there hollering in the legislature right now. That's the point. They made suggestions. First thing that happened, they had to go through all of us in the community trying to act like these suggestions were law. Like, well, Senator Wayne is going to do this Sankofa thing, and he's just going to take a bunch of money for his project. He couldn't do that. Nobody who made the bill can do that. That's not how the government worked. It's not how it worked. They've been making suggestions from the jump. The suggestions that they made at first swayed all the senators to vote yes on this, to get $450 million in North and South Omaha. They voted yes. Job done. Then they said, now, can you kind of go with our suggestions, though, because like this is how it's going to get to North Omaha, because we already know how things work. We've seen you take money earmarked for North Omaha and put it in stuff like lakes. So not only, so they made suggestions about these things. They went out and had these meetings, and then everybody was up in arms because Charles Drew wasn't getting no money. Malcolm X wasn't getting no money. So they came back in and they said, well, what should we do, guys? And they said, well, hey, let's do this, break some of this money off and do that. They took that suggestion and earmarked some money for Malcolm X, for Charles Drew, and so on.
My point.
After that, they stopped taking their suggestions. Everything from airport park to us and everything in between. They stopped listening. They stopped communicating with the senators on what to do with that. They started making their own decisions. And so it's a shock, it's a surprise that you're an entity that asked for $2 million to expand your business, and then they gave you $50,000. Marianne Williams says, how was the auto shop's application even viable when he was asking for only $75,000 to hire 8 people and remodel? How do you pay 8 people even half a year at $75,000? No, he asked for 600,000.
Nope.
He asked for 75,000.
He asked for 75,000. The 600,000, that's from the PPP loan.
Oh yeah, I'm getting that mixed up. Right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's my point. Like, how do you do that? Is everybody at minimum wage? Like what? Tony Johnson said, keep watching that new soccer stadium coming. There's so much that just happened in the last couple of days. They just talked about a $900 million soccer stadium that's going to be built on the other side of the airport. Right. Juanita Johnson's district. Remember when they moved all the stuff around in the district to take away some things and include some things? Part of this had to do with, they've been in here 10 years trying to put that soccer thing together, and they finally got it going. And that's, is anybody asking how is this going to help the area that is next to North Omaha?
So I kind of have two theories that as we're going through this conversation, I'm thinking of. One of them is, and it might be the obvious thing, but to keep North Omaha to the level, because if you let all these hundreds of millions come into North Omaha, then it kind of eventually will lose its what is it, the designation for TIF? What is the term? Not dilapidated. What'd you say?
Blighted.
Thank you. Again, if the hundreds of millions of dollars comes into North Omaha, eventually it will lose its blight designation, therefore making Tiff Alley a lot harder to get TIF. Like you remember, a lot of the projects happening in Tiff Alley, the soccer stadium, all the way up to Farnham, from Abbott Drive all the way up to Farnham, they are trying to redevelop that whole area on the backs of North Omaha. If hundreds of millions of dollars comes into North Omaha, that becomes harder.
Right. Yeah, and they'll still figure out how to do it, but yeah.
Not to mention, I haven't mentioned this yet, but take it for what you will. The person who is running the DED now has a whole manifesto about the importance of directing state funds to rural areas and investing in rural areas.
Two things about that. Number one, we're not going to eliminate the part of the story where there was a black man running the DED, the head of the DED. They jam him up saying that he had a conflict of interest with his cigar bar. He steps down really fast, and then Pillin puts his friend into the position. This is the guy who Buddy just said made the manifesto about getting money to rural Nebraska. Second thing I want to say about this, Senator Justin Wayne worked his magic in the legislature with senators that their districts is rural Nebraska, and got them some money too out of the deal. Got them money too. Everybody was getting paid from this, and they still, for some reason, started bucking because the governor didn't like something, and so they were kissing up to the governor and started messing with the vote. But he had, in good faith, made deals with senators for them to get money for some of their projects in rural too, in order to get their vote, in order to get $450 million into North Omaha. So everybody was supposed to get some money. The DED decided to take control and decide they're going to do what they're going to do. It wasn't. And somebody said in the chat, it's not the DED, or it's not. I forgot where it's at. Where was it at?
Vaughn Chapman saying it wasn't the DED, it was the Governor Pillin who created and maintained purpose-driven confusion. Is that what you said?
Was Pillin, right? It was Governor Pillin that did that, but he did it through the DED. We've been in contact with the DED, kinda, And we know about the confusion. I spent a whole day going back and forth with one of their representatives on email asking questions, only for it to finally get to her going, all right, I just can't answer that.
Man, yeah, I remember that email. We can't give you any information.
You should have said that 5 emails ago, first of all, instead of like give half answers. It's been a mess. It's been a mess. It's been a mess. We will be seeing what's going to be happening here Friday. It's 9:00 right now, so we're going to get out of here. We're going to see what's going to happen today with these announcements.
Man,
We're going to have the senators on Monday. We're also going to have Brother Kasim on Monday to talk about a few things as well. So we have some special guests on Monday. Looking forward to talking to Brother Kasim about the events and stuff that's coming up, and to have more discussions about, like I said, man, I'll be on this tip where I'm like, man, forget all this, bro. We'll just do it ourselves. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? So that's got to be a major part of that conversation. But we're going to have a lot to talk about when it comes to what decisions are made today, what's going to happen. I'm getting calls daily. Like, what's happening with this? What's happening with that? Did you accept this? Did you accept that? What's going on? We think it's a setup. Lots going on. I'm not attending that meeting, Mama God, no. But we will. It's supposed to be a press conference, so we'll all see it on the news. Apparently,
yeah. Credentialed media is welcome to come, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we will see.
So anyway,
really quickly, Paul, we didn't really talk about why are you not planning on why not go to the meeting?
Well, I got to work today, so I can't.
Okay.
I still have a job till the 31st, so
that part.
I won't be able to go. But another thing is that you said we just got the email about it yesterday?
Day before yesterday, the 24th. We just got the email.
Okay.
Yeah, we got an email. It came to the company email. 2 days ago, though, after we had already been asked about it and hadn't really any information. So yeah, 2 days. Not a lot of time to take off work if you need to take off work, if you still got a day job, to make plans. It's not. But again, based on that, I have to go back to to my understanding, it's today at 2 at Fort Omaha, on the Fort Omaha campus, and then after that, later on this afternoon at 4 at the Livestock Exchange building in South Omaha.
Interesting. Okay. We'll see what's happening. Also, what's going on, they just put in the chat as well. Annual, Tamika Renee, thank you. It's the State of North Omaha is tomorrow, 8 a.m. at MCC. I urge you to come or attend via Zoom. This is Empowerment Network, Annual State of North Omaha State of African American Summit. This is tomorrow at, where's it at? It's at Metropolitan Community College Fort campus, 8 o'clock to 12:30. We talk about these meetings and stuff all the time. We can't do anything about them unless we're there. So it'd be a good idea to try to make this at Metro tomorrow, 8 o'clock, and see what's going on there. So this is in Friends of First Sky Omaha. You can go to Empowerment Network and register for this and come through. If you can put boots to the roots on this, come through. They're gonna be talking about all kinds of stuff: entrepreneurship, employment, education, housing, health, safety, culture. We'll see what the summit entails. Yeah, you name it.
Yeah, definitely see what the summit entails. Definitely love to hear some feedback. And also shout out to Mr. Stewart, Mr. Knight, saying kind of helping me on that math. He's saying I think 50,000 times 400 is only 20 mil. So again, the math ain't mathing right now.
We still speculating, bro, because there's been no information about who's getting what, where is it going, how much money's going on. We've been hearing bits and pieces from people around town that's saying 50, 50, 50, and then Senator Wayne on the floor yesterday or day before yesterday saying OEDC 90 million, 10 million, and 2 million, so on and so forth. We're getting bits and pieces of the math, even. So once it's all said and done, they put this list out. They say how much money is going out. We'll see. But think about how many times the money changes from 450, then 300. Now it's 230, 320. What is it? 323. 234. There you go.
According to this WOWT article. And also, before we get out of here, to that point about the 90 million, apparently there was a huge debate in the unicameral about that after this list was released, centering on the 90 million going to the airport business park. Senator Wayne says, this is a money grab. I'm tired of the poverty pimps taking out my community all the time. We're doing that again.
Shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Justin Wayne. Hopefully we'll be talking to them on Monday and all that good stuff. we're gonna get it going because we can talk about this one all day long. But let's go ahead and get our day going. Hopefully we got some good information out there for you to take a look at, see what's happening. A lot of this is relevant to a lot of us. And you know, we're right in the middle of this thing. It's no accident that we're here and been talking about following the money for 4 seasons. We're here being a major part of the documentation of what's going on with $450 million coming to North and South Omaha. We've had the senators on for 4 seasons now talking about it. Yeah, is it? Good question.
Is it?
Good question.
RG. Y'all lucky to get anything. Yeah.
Shout out to the folks who came out to our forum with Beeee Full. Kimber says, I appreciate everybody. Yeah, shout out to Beeee and Kimber on that. Yeah, man, we'll get out of here because this is, like I said, we can go on and on. We're fired up, but take a look and see what's going on. Check out the unicameral, see what the senators are talking about. Go to Friends of First Sky Omaha and watch the speeches. You know, you'll find out what's going on better by listening directly to Senator McKinney, Senator Wayne. And shout out to the other senators, Linehan and everybody else that was like, well, wait a minute. You know, and even some of the Republican senators were like, yeah, we voted on this. Good faith. Like, it's a go. We wanted North Omaha to get some money. What's the problem? So, yeah. Anyway, Brother Knight said all applicants could have gotten an equal distribution. They were talking about that. I remember that being a part of the conversation. Let's just give everybody who applied $100,000 or something crazy.
Man, well, to your point, Paul, we are speculating because that's all we can do because we have not gotten any information despite 2 years now of asking questions and having the discussion with the people who wrote the bill, and yet there's still a lot of confusion. So hopefully we will find out some real answers and where we really stand after today.
Yep. Appreciate you guys coming on through. We're get out of here. Thanks for letting us go past the agreed upon time. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Man, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And see y'all Monday. Take care of yourselves.
Yep. Mr. Eric says, great guest, interesting conversation. Please be good to yourselves. Drink water and moisturize from the inside out. Shine from the inside out. Man. Those who don't bask in your shine aren't for you anyway. Ain't that the truth? So the truth. Appreciate everybody. Pop says these shows go so quickly. Have a great weekend, everyone, and see you Monday. Really appreciate that. Rose Review says have a blessed weekend, everyone. He said hit the like button especially if you're on YouTube on the way out. Really appreciate everybody who is doing that. Beeee Full says that was a great forum. Planning to do more in the future. That's what's up. We're planning on trying to make some of those, so appreciate you doing those and keep up the good fight, Miss Full. I don't care who doesn't want you to do forums. Keep doing them. We always got your back on that. Appreciate you. Keatron Cycle says, miss you guys. Miss you too, man. We got to get together again for sure. Kimber Snipe says, we love y'all too, man.
Thank you.
Can't tell you how much love we got for y'all.
Man,
love you and really love Marianne Williams. Love you for Sky. Hey,
thank you.
This is Love Supreme season 7. It's all about the love. This is the reason why we're motivated to do anything we're doing right now. So. Yeah. There you go.
It's all about the fam. Again, thank you, Miss Erica Felt, for the hat.
Hey, right on.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you on all these issues and all these things that we find that's important to us in our neighborhoods and letting your voice be heard as well. Trust me, people are listening.
Man.
People are absolutely listening. You guys have a good weekend. Do something fun. Do something with family. Live alive with one another.
Yeah.
And pay attention to what's going on around us. And we'll come back and we'll talk about it Monday in a real way. Special guest, Terrell McKinney. Hopefully Justin Wayne can make it this time as well. And I believe Brother Kasim is going to come on. Brother Kasim and Brother Sherman Wells will hopefully be on as well Monday. So stay tuned for that jam-packed show. There's going to be lots to talk about. So get your notes ready. In the meantime, between time, have a good one. Peace.
By the way, Vanguard. This is protected by the red